Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. As usual, as soon as we start this program, you can pick up the telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socioeconomic issues. You can introduce your own topic, irrespective of what your concerns are or your questions. We express our views and opinion once we are comfortable with the information we have. If we have new information, we change in the opinion. Opinions are not cast in stone, and they are not necessarily facts. So you can give us a call. The number to call is 442-0175. We are on RealFM, YouTube, and Facebook page, both On Target and RealFM. Grenada Prime Minister and the government indicated, not indicated, they said, I think they gazetted, that July 4th will be a holiday. We're celebrating CARICOM Day. CARICOM started about 50 years ago. I think Grenada joined it in 1974. This is neither here nor there. Some people would say we have a number of holidays on the calendar, and it's always a challenge for government to add another holiday. So I'm not against it. Not necessarily see the justification for it. But I'm saying I think it would be better. Not that getting rid of the holiday, we can have the holiday, but government must offer citizenship to all CARICOM nationals, including Haitians, that is living or was residing in Grenada at the time July 4th holiday was gazetted. All CARICOM nationals. We have to be a little bit more willing to accept immigrants. All people go to the United States of America, England, Aruba, Trinidad, Barbados, and other countries, Antigua, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat and Tortola. We go to other countries. We seem to be reluctant, apprehensive, afraid to welcome immigrants to our country. Our population has not risen in any significant way in the last 8 decades. Dominica, just the same way. Perhaps only Barbados' population could be considered densely populated. Guyana empty. So I believe Grenada should take the unilateral decision and offer citizenship to all CARICOM nationals that was in Grenada, reside in Grenada, live in Grenada, come on holiday in Grenada, when the July 4th holiday was gazetted. Sometimes we want to just end up in the spotlight and does nothing meaningful. Grenada is the right country to take that decision. Grenada must always remember Henry Christophe and the role he played in Haiti. And any Haitian that go to school and did history in school would know about Henry Christophe and Grenada and Sanssouci. It might help to salvage some pride, because the Prime Minister went in the United Nations and gave the impression that he would have been a champion for Haiti. And a few days after that, he abandoned 15 Haitians. Since then, a number of Haitians in Grenada have not been treated fairly. The construction company or individual they are working with, giving them hell, threatening them, not paying them promptly. And I guess these individuals are emboldened because they realize the Prime Minister been flip-flopping on the Haitian issue. So I want to encourage them. Provide citizenship. Offer them. All CARICOM nationals, including Haitians, that was in Grenada when that July 4th holiday was gazetted, offer them citizenship. Do something to salvage some of what the kind of respect people had for you and lost. But it's also a symbolic gesture for CARICOM. CARICOM is one of the world's long-standing attempt at countries to unite. CARICOM started before the idea of the European Union. It started with the Federation. Jamaica pulled out. And that famous mathematical calculation of Eric Williams, 1 from 10 is not. But the desire and the urge and the willingness to work together continued. And so CARICOM, I think in 1973. Grenada joined it in 1974. So it's not only to say you declare a holiday. A lot of people like holiday, except those businessmen. They don't like holiday. They don't make money on holiday, or they make less money on holiday. And they have their expenses. And sometimes the country loses money on holiday. But that is a wrong carnival time. So every holiday is a good day for revelers. More job, more job. So I think the Prime Minister should take the initiative in the Caribbean and provide citizenship, offer it for all CARICOM nationals, particularly including our people from Haiti. Government must prepare to do more too than just declare a holiday. Use it to provide some information about CARICOM. Your foreign ministry could easily champion that. And you could have programs on radio and otherwise to discuss CARICOM. Even some of your town hall meetings could have been used for that, to discuss these issues. And some of our politicians could speak on that issue, because CARICOM may well transcend political parties. Yes, Scholar, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, good day.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, the police, you said about crime is on the increase and thing. I can remember almost a whole year ago, you and Master Carlos talking about that by fracture in the society that could breed crime and thing. You did mention that, and it happened on. If they said they would deny that and say, well, no, that are not to do this, that not to do government. But I remember I was calling that earlier. When the teachers was, you say they raise war on the children, and that will come back to haunt people, because in the end, this children could turn bandit or kind of thing, and we see this thing trickle along today. So on the parents to address that situation, because if they say the increasing daylight robbery, that means that is serious thing. Even they don't move around, bandit coming in night again, bandit coming big bright daylight. The police this week on news, a whole lot of police was talking about that. And it's time to for the same 150 for them to give back them people the 150. Mr. Pierre. Because if you check the man say, if you truly want to alleviate poverty, you give the people 650 or more. If you truly want to, and then when you come, you see that 350 and 4, and you take out one piece. That have to be a real disgrace. Because you tell the people that if you truly want to alleviate poverty, to give the people 650 or more based on what the World Bank says, and you come and the people still say that are normal. That can never be normal. That could never be normal. Take care, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar, and I agree. Yes, we said earlier that some of the actions we're seeing in Grenada going to increase crime. It don't make no sense that you're pussyfooting. We must face the truth. Some of the actions that took place from the teachers' declaration of war against school children, unjustifiable declaration. In addition to that, the government insensitive attitude towards the elderly, the physically challenged, and even disadvantaged children. We had a number of issues where elderly men was stoned and chopped and maimed in the land. One individual from St. Patrick's himself did a disfigured 80-year-old man in the land. When I spoke to him, he sung so sad and dejected. He said even the police abandoned him. We saw the situation where the home, the Father Hilarion home, the home in St. Patrick's, can't remember the name, where you had 15 or 16 people dying in the home, and an elderly man run, and only some women that go and look for him. I don't even believe the police bother. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my lady, welcome.
How was your night?
Great, man.
Thank God for that. Mr. Pierre, do you know you have COVID bad outside?
Yes, we have increases in COVID-19.
Mr. Pierre, when COVID time, Mr. Steele coming every Tuesday on the TV and on the radio and tell Grenadian people how to beware with themselves. Mr. Pierre, COVID now, you don't hear in the Ministry of Health coming and tell nobody nothing?
Well, I don't really expect them to. Remember, the government in power then, no. The government in power now was never supportive of the measures taken to manage COVID.
Well, the government of the day today go and fight for COVID people in history, you know. You know that? So you won't support it, but Mr. Pierre, you have to preach it, tell the world that COVID is outside and upside of ram cram. Wear the mask, be protective. Because watch, when you hear that COVID come, remember we don't have a good government to keep us alive, you know.
Well, the government is very insensitive to the elderly, the physically challenged. And that is the area that COVID destroyed the most. The elderly people, the people with underlying problem, and the government is not sensitive towards them.
We have to sing song, anthem about that 150. I see when you hear you talk about it, who are in go and get work to do if they didn't have a life when they're young. But I hope they have a life when they get old, you know, because I hear they preaching it. So I hope they have a life when they get old. They preaching it now, go and get work to do, stop sitting on government. And never know people sit down on government. All in America, you're watching government help the needed people. Not only in Grenada, but I hear in some of them, God go deal with a lot of them, you know, Mr. Pierre. A lot of them have to face it. And Mr. Pierre, I hear you talking about Ticolo. Where, you know Barrick?
Must know Barrick.
Well, how far Ticolo from Barrick?
I tell you already, we have to get all the children in the parish to know the names of the village in the parish. It is a sad thing when you live in a community and you don't know the names. Some of them names are very rich very romantic, and people must know the names. And if people take a little effort to know the names, they're going to know where Moncabit is. They're going to know where Tukongo is.
What is it? By where? How far?
But that is, you must know the names of the villages in your parish. You ever hear about Congo Town?
Yes, I hear Congo. Some Congo don't live in by you.
What's about Tukongo?
No, I don't know that one.
Moncabit?
No, first time I hear now.
Grand Four? Well, that's why I tell you, Kumande.
I don't know.
Well, that's why I tell you, and these names are so romantic. Now, when you teach your 5-year-old these names.
But you have to tell me where, so if I know, then I could tell them.
Well, those men can spell. Most of them men that leave school, they don't really know book, they can spell. But then women could spell the name for them. Encourage your children to cut cards,
but
like a flash card.
How far that place is.
Well, once you start to do the research, you're going to know.
Got it from the where?
Once you start to get flash cards. You take cardboard and you write in down the names on it. And if you have children in school, that is at one time creativity.
But if they ask me where that place is, what am I going to tell them?
You just have to ask them men. Them men, just as how them men know where Senior's Choice is, so they know the names of the village.
Okay.
Some men are bus drivers, conductors, salesmen, the policemen, nurses. All these people know every creek and corner in Grenada.
And corner in this place.
Yes. So we must let our 5-year-old children know them.
Okay, Mr. Pierre. Have a bless.
And then if you get to know Tikoloyola, know Tilaita too. You will know Tilaita. Yeah. So it is important. I want to make a special call to the 2 ministers in St. Patrick's, in the north. Brother Willie say we're making noise. And he say it advised the Prime Minister to ignore the 3 people that making noise on RealFM. So I want to make a special appeal to the 2 parliamentary representatives in the St. Patrick's area. That is the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Minister of Finance. I'm giving all this some homework. Find out who Nadine Charles is. Find out who Nadine Charles is. It's easy for her to know. She walked with a white stick. Every parliamentary representative must know the area. And then go and look in the mirror and ask yourself if it is justified to take away she $150. I'm absolutely certain. After you find out who Nadine Charles is, you're going to give her back she $150, and you're going to give her the retroactive. Because if you find out who she is, and you don't believe it was justified in she falling under the seed program, then go and look in the mirror. You hear they say, mirror, mirror on the wall. If you blink when you ask the mirror question, it means you're lying for yourself. Your political party have involved in a pile of lies. But I know it is very difficult for you to lie for yourself. That is why I'm saying you in the mirror. So go and find out who Nadine Charles is. She walks with a white stick. And then ask yourself, why you punishing her? Because some of the information I'm getting is sad. I'm also hearing you want to take her out from the list. I'm saying go and find out. Mr. Tillman Thomas says rebalancing. And St. Jude, he says realignment. So I don't know what category she is. But I still believe there is good in you two men. There must be good in you all. So go and find out who Nadine Charles is. I have she permission to call she name on there. Go and find out who she is. She walks with a white stick. You see, this government is not very sensitive to the marginalized. They're not very sensitive to the physically disadvantaged. This government is not very sensitive to disadvantaged children. Every time they come into power, they go after these people. Some individual, and I always encourage you to challenge me where the truth is concerned. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Joe?
Yes, my brother.
Good.
Yeah, my brother, welcome.
Good afternoon. You know, we're talking about poor and vulnerable today. Listen to me. You have a guy by me, they call him Mr. Joe. For 9 years, the man begging the NMP to give him a poor relief, give him something. The man working with a stick. The NMP don't give him nothing. I tell you, for 9 years, they didn't for him. The last 9 years, they don't give him nothing. Today, thanks to the NDC take out 150 what the past government give them who have already. And they put the next 150 with it. And they give six of them wrong here. $300. Mr. Pierre, that is the best thing that ever happened to these people. For 9 years they begging, they couldn't get. Today, they're happy. They get $300 to buy medicine, to buy foodstuff, to buy even cabbage or carrot or anything.
Miscellaneous.
Today, they happy so that people in Guinea. For 9 years, the NMP don't give them. That is not wickedness, Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre, you have a good day.
Yes, my brother, thank you. And it also established the view, the position, that perhaps there are many, many more people that need to be under the SEED program. During the previous government, Grenada had the best social safety net program. So we had a lot of people under the social safety net program. Grenada's social safety net program was bigger than most countries in the Caribbean. And the government was chastised mercilessly for giving handout. When the government come up with the idea of 10,000 toilets, this one took me by surprise. I never thought about it. 10,000 toilets. I thought it was a masterpiece. It was a masterpiece. I was on radio bawling for wholeness in Jamaica to institute that in downtown Kingston. Because you see, wholeness in Jamaica was not very sensitive to the cries of the marginalized in Jamaica. Bustamante begged Siaga, never forget the poor. Don't forget the poor, Siaga. Because Bustamante forget the poor. And Bustamante treat Rastas very bad in Jamaica. Siaga did a lot, but Siaga begged wholeness. Don't forget the poor. And even today in Jamaica, I am convinced that wholeness forget the poor. In Grenada, we have two leaders in the last 100 years that never forget the poor. They never forget the marginalized, the physically challenged, and disadvantaged children. And these two leaders is none other than Eric Matthew Gary and Keith Mitchell. And that is why Grenada had the biggest social safety net program in the region. And that is why they provided 10,000 toilets for elderly and physically challenged people that did not have a toilet. And that is why they introduced 3,000 people one time got job in the Imani program. And that is why our tax threshold in Grenada was better than most countries in the region. You had to be making $3,000 and more before you pay personal income tax. Once you was making $3,000 or less, you was not paying more tax than a vagrant. We could be proud of that. We must guard that jealously and don't let the government drop it, because I believe the government will drop the tax threshold. I think it's in the United States of America and some countries, individuals go into politics and they take $1 a month. And our leaders was very frugal, very conservative in their spending, because they was mindful of the challenges of the marginalized in Grenada. So they was very restrictive with their traveling. And we have a new government that come and believe if you don't get plenty money, you'll get corrupt. But they are not telling us how much money would keep them from being corrupt. The Prime Minister of Grenada is a well-paid individual based upon his profession and the past legal work that he was doing. But his opening salvo was about if they don't get enough money, they're going to get corrupt. And his opening action was to take money away from the elderly and the physical challenge. Caller, that is why I'm asking the two ministers in St. Patrick's, Dennis Connell, Dennis Connell, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Andal, I'm wondering if he considered Nadine as part of the good people in St. Patrick's. I want him to go and study them. I would have asked Willie to investigate the case, but we're too far up in the knot. Willie can't come up here, too far. Investigate the case. And if you think it is justified for her to be on the seed program, give her back her $150 and give her retroactive pay. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, when I'm telling you them people are them wicked, Mr. Rolo say, look at what they do, and they cut their neck and black, they never do it, you know. Mr. Rolo say what they do.
You heard the sister from Union call and... Yes.
Yes.
So it have to appear. So this one, Nadine, now, we asking them to investigate the case.
So what happened to, why they do Nadine? I don't believe they know Nadine.
Well, we asking them to investigate the case. We're giving them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they thought she had green blood in her. So we asking them to investigate the case.
You don't make her green blood.
Well, the NDC is such. Why do you think they have restorative justice?
The caller say just now, the caller say, Amanda, 9 years. Mr. Pierre, if you don't make me know you status, how am I going to know?
Well, he said he was knocking at the door. So...
I don't know if he was knocking at the
door. Well, yeah, but thank God they put him in now.
Well, yes.
But they don't have to take out
they
people.
Just as how we say it, they put 500, so they take out 500 and they put 500.
And we're not certain of the figure because they've been telling lies by the pile.
This is what Daddy liar and them.
Yeah, they've been lying by piles.
I am good liars. I will tell you they could defend case, but they're still winning. All of them trying to defend.
You can't defend case in the rum shop. We only defend case among intellectuals with beautiful speeches.
All right, Mr. Pierre.
It's totally different. So we have to be concerned. So that is why I always say, when you do something, it must be done meaningfully. We give a day for July 4th as a holiday. But if the majority of the young people don't know about CARICOM, we go just use the holiday to fet. Nothing is wrong about fetting because we're celebrating. But it's an opportunity to take an initiative, even if it is a symbolic gesture, and provide citizenship for all CARICOM nationals in Grenada. And I want to specify, including the Haitians, because I don't want you to do it and leave them out. There is no need for us to treat our Haitian brothers badly. So the Prime Minister, you have some amends to make. You didn't act correctly. You deceived the United Nations. You tricked the Haitians. And you embarrassed Grenadians. So now you have an opportunity to salvage some respect. So please, offer them citizenship. And Minister Dennis Cornwall and my brother Andal, the sister does walk with a white stick. Find out who she is. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Well, to such an issue as this guy is trying to emphasize as the biggest deal in the world. The safety program was initiated or encouraged, you might say, by the World Bank. But here he is claiming that thanks to the NDC. Well, thanks to the NNP for all that was done too. Why are you not saying that? But I don't want to dwell on that.
Yeah,
Did you hear what Mr. Grimes said relative to the agreement that was signed, the Public Workers Union and the government, which included benefits for contract workers? I mean, this thing is such a joke, eh? I thought there wasn't supposed to be contract workers in Grenada right now by the stroke of a pen.
Well, we don't supposed to have contract workers.
Well, and here they go and negotiate, which clearly shows, logically speaking, that they have now created an established category of contract workers.
You remember what?
If you negotiate with the union to give them special attention and benefit that they used to get before, based on what Mr. Grimes is saying, then it shows that they are prepared to establish the whole idea of contract workers.
Mr. Dennis Cornwall say yeah.
But the thing is that there is nothing really wrong in contract workers, but the Prime Minister says it is illegal. But they now sign agreement to establish it. I mean, what kind of system and what kind of concept these guys have?
Prime Minister lie. He lying pie.
That is just pure lies.
Lie.
The Prime Minister himself says contract work is illegal.
And lawless.
And the man not going to sign an agreement. They sign agreement with the Public Workers Union to give these people special attention. Because attention they claim that they was not getting.
But
before.
I really would like to hear what is the special attention.
But the thing, no, what I'm saying is that the fact that they recognize them now, it means that they are considered within the service. So they're getting special attention. No, there are benefits that they used to, Graham said that they didn't used to get before. Now they guarantee that they would go home with at least $500 when they are retired and that type of thing. And special other treatment, I think doctors have to get special, that attention and so on. But the thing is that the Prime Minister said that contract work is illegal.
It's lawless.
The medical lawyer, I mean, what is people who supporting this kind of nonsense understand what is going on? It is absolute nonsense. Deceit, and deceit over and over and over again. No, man, they need to wake up. Take care, sir.
I don't think they're going to wake up. I think we have to wake up. The people in the country have to wake up and have to understand that there are all political parties are good, but not all political parties seek your interests. And the National Democratic Congress does not seek the interests of the working class people. They do not seek the interests of low income, the physically challenged and disadvantaged children. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
Yes, my brother.
to entertain the CARICOM decision, we will be taking out one holiday and we'll put it in the 4th of July.
Which is the holiday we're removing? That is a decision by the government?
We're removing one. We don't know which one yet, but we'll take out one either Boxing Day or one of them, or New Year's Day. We'll take out one of them.
Okay,
and put it
caller.
in the 4th of July.
Okay,
Pierre.
caller. All right.
Mr. Pierre,
Yeah.
the government give the union the authority to give them contract workers, in other words, when they're bargaining for the rest of workers, the contract workers, if they get 4% increase in the salary, that goes right down to the contract workers too. Until they regularize them to make them permanent. And that is on the way, Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre, we set up a committee to regularize those contract workers so they could get in the share of the firing grenade. Mr. Pierre, listen. When we change the constitution and we get the insurance, make the national insurance the only insurance scheme in Grenada, all of them will be regularized. Mr. Pierre, what we're doing is that in the public servants,
When you change the constitution, caller,
will we change next year?
caller,
Yes.
you sung as a very rational and objective individual. Deacon Mitchell and his group has been lying constantly, and he has been telling lies in pile. Don't let them trick you.
Well, they attempt.
They're lying in pile. Don't let them trick you.
When we change it, every man will be regularizing. We want one insurance, one pension scheme in this country, one, where everybody in this country contributing it. Government workers, we have a special cardboard for them. In other words, the government workers will be getting at least 2% more than the ordinary pension workers.
Deacon say that, caller?
That is what they're working on now.
I'm asking you, where you get this information from? Because
That is
Deacon said that.
They're working on the constitution.
Deacon said that, caller, the union agree with that?
Well, they don't agree yet, but they go put
They
it
will
forward.
agree?
They will put it forward.
All right.
And people go hear it. Anyhow,
Okay.
Mr. Pierre, you have a good day.
Yes, and it's good that you tell me, Ollie. And I have to constantly ask Deacon Mitchell, and I am not blaming Deacon Mitchell alone. Dennis Cornwall and Lennox Andrew, two of the most senior public officers, have to be complicit in this pile of distortion and lies. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
Yes, my brother.
before the other ministers swear in, while Deacon was the dictator of this country for 1 month, just over a month, Deacon particularly made a statement when he was asked relative to constitutional reform, as he's now Prime Minister. He said that doesn't even make sense talking about constitutional reform in this country. He used the word it don't make sense.
I remember that statement, caller.
This retarded guy I keep calling, trying to impress people with a sort of nonsensical talk. Get that perception about the change in constitution to cause regularization. How you don't need constitutional reform to get that done?
You must
to
to change a dot in the constitution. You have to have a referendum and go to the polls.
But that guy never read the Constitution, so that you have to do that. You have to change the Constitution to get status regularization for workers and so on. That's something that could be done by the stroke of a pen.
By the stroke of a pen.
What is this guy talking about?
And it is lawless, and it is illegal. And Dick could do it with the stroke of a pen.
With the stroke of a pen. What kind of nonsense this guy comes talking about it? Yeah. He has no clue as to what's going on in the country. Yeah. So, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, brother.
What Dick says that there is no sense in talking about the constitutional reform.
Yeah, Dick no, he just...
so I don't know when this guy comes up to the constitutional reform talking.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, So it's always important for us to have this discussion so that we better understand. 4th of July, government decided to declare it as a day to celebrate for CARICOM. Yes, Connor, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my sister.
How are you?
Great, man.
Yeah, as a concerned citizen, I want to ask you a question. I heard some statement made about container with medication for the hospital, and they don't clean it. I heard about another set of medication and Pampers and what in some warehouse or in but something come by the plane. For the elderly citizens, they call in the ministry, who put them on hold, who saying what? They don't want to clear the medication, they don't want to clear the container because I heard them is Mrs. Cohen's niece, because I heard it on the thing the morning that send the container with the medication for the hospital. And yesterday I hear a man on your program saying the medication and them expire. So if it expire, why they don't tell the public it expire instead of have it there and they wouldn't clear it and they calling them and nobody, Minister of Health and answering and giving nothing oversee the thing come out for the people. What do you mean? Everybody is NDC. So NDC don't have to get NNP medicine or the NNP don't have to get, what is this? Why they don't want to clear it? Because NDC, they send it is NDC who are getting it or NNP. So the medication have mixed up with politics now. So you have to be on a certain way, in a certain party to get sick. Doctor have to be NNP to attend NNP or NDC to attend NDC. The medication is there for the people. Antibiotical thing missing from the hospital. Why they wouldn't clear the container? One saying he expire, why you know he expire and the minister didn't say so? Why they don't say, why they don't want the container? Why they don't take it? Because it come from overseas. NNP people that send it, so NNP people must not send medication for Grenada or what. So we put these people there for only a particular set of people. We didn't vote for a color. We vote for people and they bring themselves to serve the people. They didn't come to be served. They come to serve the country. Everybody, Grenada, CARICOM, Petit Martinique, black, white, yellow, any color, anybody. So if they don't want to look after the people, why they don't get up and move and this medication, when you expire, now they go say you expire. And people dying one after the other because you don't have medication in the pharmacy. A little thing has me small finger, $100 and something for eye drop. What's about antibiotics? What's out in this country? What's going on with this government?
Well, I think it's we that have to help ourselves. Remember, people pray, they ask God to change the government, God change the government for them. So now you have to pray and understand the government. All people must understand that not all political parties is good, but not all political party good for you. If you owe government a lot of tax, NDC is good for you. Because when NDC come in power, they just give you a tax break. If you are the higher end of the scale, NDC is good for you. If you are road workers, NDC does deduct your money. Remember in 2008, NDC removed $10 from road workers' pay. Remember that what they do to the e-money. So it depends on which income level, which income level you are in. So even some NDC lose their job too. Remember Black Wizard say NNP is a mentality. So he said even in NDC, he had NNP. So those NNP in NDC now, they're shocked, they're disappointed, and they're surprised just as anybody else.
But the medication, they was so vexed.
They must be creating...
Everything in the health is on thing, no medication, and now we don't have this.
You see,
they don't say nothing. The
the
medication
NDC,
come, it's on the port.
They
They
create...
wouldn't go and clear the container because it's NNP people that send it.
I think they're creating an environment for the new hospital.
New hospital.
That is what they're creating.
What they go get to put in a new hospital
That
when
is-
everybody
yes,
die
so
of
that
the
is-
medication, the people dying because they can't get medication?
Well, everybody in dead, some go live.
Well,
So that is why
I don't know, somebody
people
try
have
to do
to-
something because
yes.
if you have medication there and they wouldn't clear it for the people that sick and cannot help themselves.
they're going to clear it eventually because people talking.
Yeah, they go clear it when and when they don't say is expire.
Well, they're creating the environment to justify
Yeah.
their reluctance.
But Grenadians wrong. They like lie because when the man they talking about he go fix down to see with everything, they didn't think that was a lie.
You remember they said they're going to give 1 year no VAT. They're going to remove VAT for a year.
And the amount of VAT I make some groceries, the VAT more than the
Instead of that, they
groceries
add
there,
VAT on sugar.
and they take out on condom.
And they take out VAT on condom.
Yeah.
And no businessman passing on condom costs.
You understand?
Fellas hardly using condom, more pregnancy tests that sell it.
Well, let's
So,
hope and
yeah.
pray that they clear the container and people who sick and they need the medication, big people that are walking, people that cripple on bed can get
I
pampers.
think
The pampers
people-
they in the airline place.
I think people have to
Two set
Call
of two set of medication, one in a agency and the other one on the port for the poor people of this country. But they don't like poor people, but poor people put them there, you know. So they're wrong. They're wrong. So that is why you have to get NNP now. Who send it, go have to come down to go and clear it and see what they could do. And they might want it for the hospital too because it's NDC what in action now. What they say goes on. Information is on and need to know. They're just doing helter-skelter. Who dead, who live. Anyhow, Mr. Pierre, have a blessed day.
Yes, I think they're creating, people need to call on the government to make doctors available. It's not a new hospital you want. What you want is a service, medical service. So let us suppose a place like St. Patrick's, the Medical Health Center, Granba, St. David's, we should have doctors available 8 hours a day. Make doctors available in the clinics. Make the dentists available in the clinic and a psychologist available in the clinic so that people can access these services. And there will be no need for the main hospitals to be overburdened. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah.
That July 4th holiday, isn't it a one-off to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the grouping?
Well, they have it as a one-off. I don't know if they're going to make it a two-off.
So where this guy come out with this nonsense about they would take out a holiday?
Well, I don't know. Well, the guy, sometimes he have information from Deacon, you never could tell. Because Deacon has been flip-flopping. Even some of the ministers don't know.
As much as we have too much holidays, as I think anyway, but there is no need to be bothered about taking off a holiday because of that one. You know? Because one of the other holidays are usually consistent all year.
Antigua is concerned that there are too much holidays on the list already. But
that is a one-off thing.
But the government could have a symbolic gesture and provide citizenship for all the individuals and free up movement of people more in the integration movement. Yeah? So that's one of the challenges we have. I think sometimes people have to cry out for the government to understand. It's not a new hospital you want. You want access to medical service. What you need is doctors available in the parish. So for 8 hours of the day, people could access a doctor. For 2-3 days of the week, you could access the dentist. You could have 1 day for children. You could provide a psychologist once or twice for the week so people could access a psychologist. That may help reduce the incidence of crime, mental issues, vagrancy, and drug addict. That may well help. These are things the government could do. The government wants a big project, so they're going to get 10%. In these big projects, the government likely to enrich themselves very well. Already they're traveling without any conscience. I understand when they're traveling with a spouse. The spouse have to work with government to travel with them. You know. So it appears to me that they intend to enrich themselves in the government coffers. So perhaps the voices of the people have to be asking, make doctors available in the clinics in the parish. So in the medical complex in St. Patrick's, we should have doctors there for 8 hours a day, 5 or 6 or 7 days a week. So in that way, the Princess Alice Hospital and the St. George's Hospital would not be overbooked, overburdened, overloaded. People is going to go there. You'll have less people for routine and follow-up treatment there. And then you could do major health care there. Provide much more major health facilities. That's what you need. You don't need a new hospital. The government knows that. But they will make more money if they could engineer a big project. This is not about service for the country. Remember, the government doesn't seem to care about the physically challenged. You heard the cry from the sister from Union. You had to be crying on the radio. You know, it's unfortunate and it's sad. And we need to continue to ask the government. We need to continue to implore to the ministers. Some people in the NDC, including my friend Willie, decided it's only noise we're making. What we're saying is not relevant. And that is why now we're suggesting people go and investigate this case. That is why I'm calling on Dennis Cornwall and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Go and investigate the case. See if there is any genuineness in it. See if you are justified in removing $150 from this sister that is challenged. And you have no economic justification for denying her that money because the CBI program doing well. You're very liberal in your traveling. So why penalize? Why punish the physically challenged? Difficult for me, difficult to understand. Why the NDC has become so heartless. Give back the people the money. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
And happy Fisherman birthday.
Yes, thank you.
I hope to see you in Gob later on.
Yes, St. Peter and St. Paul.
Right. Now, the gentleman that is a very outspoken member of the NDC, I wish that the NDC, when they're giving him information, give him some more details and facts, so that when he put across his message to us, we could learn from it. Because he seems to have information, but he seems to don't have facts. And the person who giving him they don't give him the full information. So if he want to educate us, which I prepare to listen, I hope that they can give him, I hope he's listening, and they can give him more facts so that when he speaks to us, we will understand what he's saying. I really hope on that. So perhaps you could get that message across for me too.
I think we're getting the message just as we get it.
You think so?
The government been hiding from their own people. The NDC government has embarrassed quite a number of their supporters. They can't defend NDC.
Well, the way he talk is like he getting information from inside the cabinet, but he can't relate it. So I hope it's not the way he relates it is the way they're giving him. Thank you.
Most of the ministers don't have a clue what they're doing with MNIB. They don't know. It means that the Prime Minister himself is telling them based upon need-to-know basis. We have room for perhaps the last caller. You can give us a call.